everyone has at least one opinion that makes absolutely no sense, but you will defend like your life depends on it. And if you don't have one of those, then you're wrong. No, but you at least have a friend that does. And today we're going to talk about the dumbest hills that we die on, why we care so much about those minuscule things, and what it says about us when we take ourselves a little too seriously when we get into these arguments. This is an all-in podcast. Welcome to the dumbest hills we die on. All right, before we dive too deep into the dumbest mountains, let's start with some foothills.
Foothills.
What are a couple little things that you know that are a little out there that you guys have that you die on that people disagree with you? Obviously, you're not wrong, right? But people just tend to disagree with you and they're wrong. Does that make sense? I think for me, what I mean by that is I think Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, is the best Star Wars movie that's been made. And a lot of people get mad at me for that.
As they should.
Well, and it's like, I don't think I'm wrong. I just think they just don't know how to think for themselves, right? And they'll catch up to me eventually.
I don't think they're wrong. I just think they can't think.
It's like, it's
so
okay.
what's the debate on that? I don't like Star Wars, so I'm not.
The debate is, I think if, like you, I also didn't grow up like a big Star Wars person.
Yeah.
And so when I watch them, I'm like, these are not great movies. They did a lot for movies in general, right? For special effects, for sci-fi, for fantasy. Like, they did a lot for the movie industry. But as movies, they kind of suck. And then you got the prequels that, you know, they're fun, but a lot of people don't like them. And you have the sequels, which is like, it's like you got the first sequel that sucks. It's just like copy paste of the original movies. So it's like no original ideas. Then you have The Last Jedi, which is the only one that tried to do anything original in the whole Star Wars. You know, after creating the original story, obviously. It's the only one with any attempt at character development. It's the only one with, like, I think Kylo Ren, what's his name? Adam Driver.
My twin.
It's like the best. I'm sorry.
That's a hill I'm going to die on. Kylo Ren looks like me.
No, he doesn't.
Yes,
like
he
the
does.
best actor that's ever been on a Star Wars.
No, hold on.
movie.
No. He's got great hair. Like me. He has a large schnoz.
Nose, yeah.
Like me. He's 6'4". Like me. He has a very cute little freckle about right there. You know, like me. I've been told by multiple people that I look like that guy. And then another guy. Is there another character on Star Wars who I look like? It's from one of the newer Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
He's a fighter.
Jabba the Hutt. What was his name?
Attila the Hun.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We'll pull it. If you know, put it in the comments, please.
That you look like?
Yeah. I get confused for
Palpatine.
celebrities frequently. The other one,
Really?
This Is Us guy, Jack from This Is Us.
Yeah. Well, you do objectively look like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one guy that I would agree with so far.
What celebrities have people?
Nikolai. I think is his
What
name.
celebrities have people misidentified you for? None.
None.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
no, that's fair.
Not a single one.
You got misidentified for John Michael recently.
I did.
What
I
a
did.
compliment.
Yeah.
Tell
They
the
didn't
story.
know your name.
Tell the story.
It was a listener of the podcast in our annual conference that we go to seek.
One of the All-Innies.
One.
An innie.
You're an innie. Come on, show up. Pull up.
Where my innies at? And he came up to me and he said, "Michael?" From the podcast? I said, "Well, there's John Michael and there's Clayton." And oddly enough, we don't look alike, I would say.
No.
But I guess in college, maybe we did look a little bit more alike.
Did he know you in college?
Huh?
Did he know you in college?
John Michael?
No, the guy that confused you for John Michael.
Our
No,
P1.
no. I'm just saying, like I've
We
been
don't look like
I've
each
been called John Michael.
Right.
Oh,
in
for
college.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't happened in a long time. You know, you can grow facial hair now. I still can't all these years later.
All right. Going back to that Last Jedi being best Star Wars movie. I'm not a big
You
Star
want to go
Wars
back
fan,
to it?
but for whatever reason,
Not
whenever
a big
it
Star
comes
Wars
up,
fan. Launches into a 5-minute explanation
well, and
on
here's
the whole
what,
series.
well, here's the purpose of this episode: is whenever it comes up, I will gladly fight as if my life depends on it about it for no reason. And I have a bit of a reason, but I want to get into what are some of the takes that for you guys that they're not that important to you, but for whatever reason, it unleashes the beast.
Stanley cups are not feminine. That's one of mine. So there's
Stanley
cups, you know,
not
with
for
the
hockey.
with the straw. No.
I thought you were talking about hockey.
No, those are definitely
No,
masculine. But a lot of people, I don't have a Stanley Cup. I have.
Yes, you
sounds
do.
like you do.
Dude, this morning, this is how big Clayton's cup is. I couldn't find a place to put my coffee because his freaking 64-ounce big gulp Stanley Cup
Big gulp.
was taking over both of the cup holders. He had his cup in the cup holder. There's one right here, and the handle was so big there was nowhere for me to put my coffee.
Listen, the thing I would argue that the cups with a straw like that are, and it's not a Stanley
Men
Cup.
should
I
not
forget
be
the
drinking
name.
out
I
of
forget the
cups
name of
with
it.
straws.
But there's some really great features of it that are different from the Stanley Cup, like the fact that you can lock the top of it. So unlike normal straw cups, you can spill it pretty easily. With this one, you can lock the top. I'll put my electrolytes in there in the morning and shake it up. And then it's matte black, which is nice, you know, kind of, you know, reminds me to die to myself. And then on top of that, there's just a convenience with having the handle and having the straw.
You're in a tight
I would argue
you're in a tight black shirt.
I would
talking
argue
about your straw-based water bottle.
second best is the Owala right here because it allows you to both sip or gulp, which I think is a really great feature. So I just want to be able to grab the water bottle and drink it. It's an act of convenience that a lot of people don't.
About 2 years
capitalize
ago,
on.
we got in a 3-hour argument
Yes, I do.
because
remember
you had
this.
just bought an Owala,
Yep.
and I was still on Stanley Cups. Or not Stanley Cups, Hydro Flasks. The water bottle,
Dude,
right?
those are out.
And those are so out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're out.
And for we just argued about 3 hours about which one was better and which one was worse. And we blind tested the straws from each water bottle.
Which yours was objectively
In
harder
the
to drink out
3-hour
of.
argument you
Yes.
blind tested? At what point in the argument did this come up?
At the hour 45 mark.
Screw it, we're blind taste testing.
And so all that to say, I think we left that argument thinking that both of us left thinking we won the argument.
Right. And then what
2
happened?
weeks later, I bought an Owala, and I didn't tell you for the next 6 months because I was scared. And I still have one.
Yeah.
This is mine.
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
Well, I've moved on since then.
Another dumb hill that you die on a lot is you think Dirk Nowitzki was a better player than Tim Duncan.
100%. I will-
Without a doubt.
I will stand by that
Objective
until the day I die.
reality truth.
Why is that again?
Tim Duncan was a system player.
How can you be a system player if you are the system?
Listen, you heard a YouTube short where you heard Shaq say that.
We were just watching this pre-recording.
Right.
Tracy McGrady says, and I quote, Tim Duncan was a system player. If you take him out, the Spurs make the playoffs and still potentially win it all.
Yeah.
Who do you think knows more about basketball, Tracy McGrady or Shaq?
We're not talking about owning Papa John's. We're talking about basketball. T-Mac.
It's just I mean, I think anyone outside of Dallas and Germany would think that's just an objectively bad take.
I just think if you put Dirk on the Spurs,
Dallas and Germany.
you put Dirk on the Spurs, he can do everything that Timmy can, except he can also hit the three. That's the difference.
I don't think he has the same fundamentals.
Dirk had an objectively tougher career because of the players that he was surrounded by on the Mavericks.
because he didn't make them as good as Timmy did with his players.
No, absolutely not. I think it had a lot.
The teammates on
Props to Greg Popovich. Props to Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker. I mean, great players. I mean, Pop was into drafting and picking up on European players. That's awesome. The Mavs didn't
In South American.
in South American. Thank you.
Who had more Hall of Famers on their team, the Spurs or the Mavericks?
Well, that's what we're going after. Is that I'm not saying Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili weren't good players. They were good players, but without Tim Duncan, I don't think they're Hall of Famers.
I think you can put in another 6'10" big man that can
Jahlil Okafor. You think you put him in there? You don't even know who that is, do you?
Greg Oden.
Greg Oden.
Greg Oden.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so obviously a dumb hill for you, John Michael.
I just looked up the side-by-side stats comparison of Tim Duncan versus Dirk. We're not gonna say those out loud. And
Again, if you go by all objectivity,
it's a bloodbath. The only thing Dirk has is he averaged 20.7 points a game. Duncan had 19. Duncan had 15 All-NBA first-team defensive teams. Dirk had 0. All-Pro teams, Tim Duncan 12, Dirk 10. NBA championships, Tim 5,
Cinco.
Dirk 1. Finals MVP
3, I think.
It's a bloodbath.
Anyways, dumb takes for you, John Michael.
Miller Lite is the superior light beer.
I just don't see how that's a dumb take.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's a hill, and no one's dying on it.
A lot of people are. The Midwest.
I think a lot of people are, yeah.
Well, it
Midwest,
depends on where you're from.
Well, light beer is a very cultural thing.
For sure.
Yeah.
So,
What would you say the top 3? Miller, Coors,
Miller,
Busch?
Coors,
are we
Busch.
talking taste or are we talking sales?
No,
volume?
just
Yeah, popularity.
I think if you drew out a map,
Coors, Bud, Miller for sure.
I forget
And
about
just
Bud.
volume. No
I
one
don't-
likes Bud Light.
I don't.
Shane
where in
Gillis
the-
does, and he's bringing it back.
You talk about a glow up. Bud Light. From very spicy commercials to bringing Shane Gillis and Post Malone and Peyton Manning on there.
Very, very different strategies.
Yeah, very
for sure.
different. So I think Miller Lite is the superior light beer.
Yep.
I would also make a case for Michelob Ultra, although we could get into an argument over is Michelob Ultra a light beer or is it in a separate category?
What would be the category?
It's got 1 calorie less than Miller Lite.
It's not a light beer.
What would be the category?
Their whole market
Beer of
is
athletes.
the beer of athletes. Skinny can for a skinny man. 2.5 carbs.
Which is the same as Miller Lite.
No, Miller Lite's 2.6.
Yeah, that's my point.
That's a significant difference.
Significant. It adds up. It adds up.
It adds up when you're about 4 deep, you know? Which we're not.
I like Miller the most, but I will say there are times where I don't want to feel like I just shoved a whole loaf of bread down my throat.
So some people,
And so I'll go with Coors.
say that Miller Lite has a copper taste to it.
Mm.
Have you?
I would almost say it's like weedy, like like
Talking about a hot take.
like
Beer is weedy.
more. Well, like compared to like it has a more weedy aftertaste, I would say. Whereas Coors, like
Cares
Coors,
a lot.
you know, it's just it's kind of
So
like
so could we say this? Coors Light, I believe, in my opinion, goes down the easiest.
Mhm.
Most akin to water is Coors Light.
I can get behind that.
Agree?
yes.
Agree?
Yeah.
Bud Light, way too sweet. Has almost a sweet sour taste to it.
I don't think I'd ever describe it as sweet.
Yeah, it's sweet. Like if we did a blind taste test, Bud Light is to me the furthest on the right hand side in terms of tasting different from the other light beers.
I would agree with that.
Now, where do you put Busch Light in here? Busch Light's a bit of a wild card in the light
I feel like
beer
Busch
scene.
Light is a Midwest beer, and if you're not from the Midwest, you just
don't
I don't
drink it.
even know what it tastes like.
I actually like it.
I like a Busch
It's
apple.
very drinkable. Busch apple.
Busch apples for special occasions.
Disgusting.
For special occasion. Oh my gosh!
Here's the thing about Busch Apple.
When they first come out in the fall.
No. Here's what happened in College Station is that it's a seasonal beer.
Yeah.
Sold out.
And in college, no, it didn't just sell out in College Station. The Dixie Chicken, very popular beer bar in College Station. They purchased every single Busch Apple can in the entire Bryan College Station
that is
metro area. It
brilliant.
was the only place you could get it in
Did
town.
they upsell it?
I'm sure they did.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
That's brilliant.
Okay. Any other hails?
Yes, I've got one. Golf is the superior Zone 2 sport.
That is the absolute stupidest, most unintelligible. You've never listened to Huberman take I've ever heard.
I
Let
think we've got a wide range of listeners, and there's going to be some that don't even know what Zone 2 is.
Zone,
maybe let's-
he doesn't either because he said it. Golf was a good activity.
Why
You
don't
don't have
you-
him explain
Why
it.
don't you explain to us what Zone 2
Been
is,
waiting
John
my whole
Michael?
life for this moment. Okay, so in the aerobic heart rate system,
Mhm.
there are certain thresholds of heart rate that are in different zones. You take your maximum heart rate. For most people, it's about 185 to 190 would be your max heart rate. You guys probably want to know because you play golf. You've never been close to that. But you take that and then you go about 10 to 15% per heart rate zone to determine your 5 levels. So some people would say there's a zone 0, but for most scientists, of which don't play golf. There's zone 1, zone 2, zone 3,
Yeah,
zone
that's
4,
why they're
zone
in
5.
science.
Zone 2 is kind of a popular term right now because it describes the period of heart rate zone. For most people, it'd be like 138 beats per minute to maybe like high 140s beats per minute. That is kind of the optimum spot for being able to do long-term cardio without kind of having negative recovery effects the next day. So people say zone 2 training is a great way to build your aerobic system. You guys probably, once again, don't know about aerobic systems because you play golf. Building that aerobic engine. And it's a great way to kind of gain cardio fitness without taxing yourself long term.
I feel like you just have never had to experience being 2 beers in, having a Zen and you're on a tee box after a group in front of you tells you to play through, and they're just watching you.
165.
The
I don't think
stadium
you
pulse is
understand
going crazy.
how high your heart rate can get. Probably higher than any whatever
Okay.
fad you're into now. High rocks.
Skinny
Just
can for a skinny
rebranded
man.
CrossFit.
Okay, all right. Here,
It's
let me
the
let me
stupidest-
let me propose a question to you then. What would you, if you had to rank, different forms of zone 2 cardio?
Yep.
Like what would you give us your top? I don't know, 2. What would you say if you're doing let's say hour-long zone 2 session?
Yeah.
What is your preferred method of cardio? Tell
Once
us.
again, since I'm an athlete,
Yes.
I prefer running, which,
Okay. Yeah,
once
bad for your
again,
knees.
I know
Keep
you guys
going.
don't know a ton about. Probably running and then biking.
running and then biking.
Maybe some
So
erg,
you're
maybe
like
some
the
erg works.
type of athlete that like couldn't do anything in sports, and so they landed on running and bikes, right?
Yeah.
Like I said,
Like the guy that does track. I'm just kidding. You really love track. You love
I
track.
played
Here's-
baseball competitively.
Did they cut anyone from that baseball team?
Yes.
You were.
I was
for
the only
sure-
player on my high school baseball
That
team
didn't
that
get cut?
didn't receive Division I offers out of school.
Wow.
Okay, so emphasis on competitively.
Yes.
So
And emphasis on didn't receive.
so yeah, you played with really competitive people.
There's
here's-
no way. Pull
let-
up your Whoop.
get-
Pull up your Whoop data and show me the last time you golfed, and I will look at your heart rate zones, and we will define definitively if you ever reached anything above 120.
Okay, there's a couple different things here. Just hear me out, okay?
You're speaking in a very derogatory tone.
No, I'm not. You're not letting me get to my point here, which I think I have a lot of genuinely good points to make about why
ahead.
golf is a great zone 2 cardio sport.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, number 1, you play golf for a total of 4 hours. Okay, so you're getting high quality, you're not going to be probably in zone 2 the entire time. You're probably hovering somewhere between, higher zone 1 to somewhere in zone 2. And hear me out again on this, is that have you ever carried your bag for 18 holes?
You guys never carry your bags.
Yeah, well,
Never said
if
I
I
did.
wanted to, I didn't say that. Okay, I'm just saying if you were to carry your bag, you're basically rucking with 40 to 50 pounds on your back. Okay, on top of that, you're walking up hills, you're walking down hills. You're not really
Sideways.
there's
on
no
hills.
cartilage issues that are happening, breaking down from all the running that you're doing. On top of that, there's a mental focus and a mental clarity that you need in the midst of the round that you don't need while you're zoning out on your bike watching The Office. And then on top of that as well,
I can get behind this. Smart people, golf, dumb people, running.
other things, anything else. On top of that, you're getting, I would say, a mobility workout
Oh,
in the course of the workout as well. Do you know how much spinal flexion and spinal rotation that you need to play golf well?
half the people on golf courses in America have had multiple hip replacements, and you're telling me that it's about mobility? These guys can barely pick up their golf ball.
Okay, there's a difference between
Got it.
1970s golf and golf in the 2020s. You seen Rory McIlroy?
Here's the deal: any sport
All right.
that allows for you. Let me finish this point, and then,
Last
then you can
point.
go. Let me finish this point. John Daly wins the argument here. Any sport where a professional can be 50 to 60 pounds overweight, have eaten 12 Hooters wings before we got on the course, ripped through half a pack of Marlboro Reds, drank 2 Diet Cokes, half a handle of vodka, and a couple
This is a
energy
bad
drinks
argument. This is a bad
and
argument.
win multiple at the pristine level of
It's a bad
his
argument.
sport is not a zone 2 activity.
It's a bad argument.
John Daly is in zone 2 when he gets out of his chair in the morning.
I remember running my first half marathon. And I got passed by an old man with a ponytail with a huge gut. And so there's all sorts of different shapes and sizes that you see with people
And
that are
most
good at
people playing
running.
golf are out of shape and overweight.
If you're playing leisurely, the thing is like if you're
All
in
right.
Got him.
if you're into running, you're running every day. When you're playing golf, it's a great workout. It's a great way
Jose, will you
to carry athletics
cut
into
him
your
off?
70s and 80s.
cut him off?
I
Keep going. All right, carry on.
yeah. We'll move on. I do land with Clayton here. Simply because your argument is about people being overweight and it not being considered a sport. But you were talking about playing baseball your whole life, where you can clearly be overweight and still be professional.
Prince Fielder.
I think when I look at all these hills we die on, right, and the last however long we spent talking about things that we actually don't care that much about, I'm thinking, why do we do that? I know for me, and I've realized this a lot, especially over the last couple of years. I just love rage baiting people.
You absolutely do.
And I will die on hills that I don't remember 5 minutes afterward.
You'll die on a hill that you don't even believe yourself in the current
Absolutely
moment.
not.
Yeah.
But
I just want to rage bait you.
yes.
Like 1,000,000%.
So
I'm like,
define rage baiting.
like, I mean, I'm just.
You're trying to make someone else
to
mad.
make you rage.
Yeah.
Right. So like, I'm just saying things to have you like
Get you going.
get you
Yeah,
going
okay.
and get you to jump on. So I know for me, a lot of my dumb hills are just me trying to rage bait the people around me, and they will change based off of that. What is it for you guys? Like, why? Where does it come from? You guys, are you guys also the same? Is it something else?
Probably my deep love of being right
Mm.
and winning.
Yeah. So the less virtuous approach than what I just said. Yeah.
This is our villain coming out in
I'm
another
just rage
episode.
baiting.
I mean, I think the three of us, one of the reasons that we get along so well is because we're all three pretty darn stubborn when it comes to our opinions and thoughts.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing that we get along so well.
It is, but it's like we have the important things in common,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we're stubborn on those things. We're not willing to move. But when it comes to things that are kind of ancillary, that's where we just get after it. Like one of my favorite things is our mutual friend, Will,
Mhm.
who wasn't talented enough to be invited to the podcast. But he's like the best guy to argue with because he gets so into it.
Uh-huh.
So into it. Like you get him going on conspiracy theories and then poke a hole in that and he gets fired up. So I think it's just like I love being right. I love winning arguments. And so if there's an opportunity to win, I want to argue it. I think the second thing on a more serious tone is we live in a culture that's afraid to disagree. And so what we like to do instead is disagree about things that don't actually matter. So it's like we will get very fiery with each other and even people in culture about kind of meaningless objects. But when it comes to actually discussing real hard topics that really need an actual intellectual debate and conversation around, people don't want to touch that with the 10-foot pole. So I think it's kind of acquiescing their desire to be able to conflict in conversation, debate well.
Do you have any thoughts, Clayton?
Well, I just think that, a lot of these hills, like for instance, this golf one, it's like, do I kind of think that? Yeah, I do. I think
I'm
golf
pretty serious
is a
about
great
that
form of zone 2 cardio. Do I care about it as much as I just fought with John Michael about it? No, not necessarily. But honestly, here's kind of what I was thinking is I enjoy, it's like a mental exercise of sorts. It forces me to kind of defend a point and you're kind of going back and forth. There's just like, I just, there's a lighthearted nature to that. There's probably maybe some more serious hills that I would die on that I would actually defend. But when it comes to things like this, like I just kind of enjoy the lighthearted banter back and forth and trying to figure out how I'm going to defend my point because there's a lot of holes in it.
Yep.
And to that, like I agree with you. Like I just love a good arguing session. I don't care if I believe what I'm arguing about, right? But also to your point of like, it does kind of feel like in our culture we don't really argue about important things. And by arguing, I don't mean like maybe debating. I don't know, whatever the term is, right? a lot of people will debate in bad faith, right? Or just debate to make the other person look dumber, or like, but no one's actually trying to have conversations. And I guess my question is like, is that why these dumb hills can feel so personal at times? You know what I mean? And not just for us, but I think like in general, everyone has dumb hills that they die on, but they always get so personal.
I think there's even the meaningless hills still have a point of identity.
Yeah.
So like you guys enjoy golf. You consider yourself golfers.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Sorry,
I
keep
don't.
going.
Sorry, people who golf.
Yeah.
Not golfers. But like even when you have a stupid argument, it still is a point of your identity. And so when you feel like your point is being attacked, you're taking it as somewhat of an attack
Like
on
I'm being attacked.
who you are as a
Yeah.
person, what you believe, what your values are, what your culture is, what your tribe is,
For
who
sure.
you belong to, what your family's about, all that kind of stuff. Like if you're arguing, I used to have heated debates when I was living in Kansas about Bud Light versus Miller Lite, because these people were from the Midwest, Kansas City, St. Louis, Chicago, and they were like, I'm from St. Louis. My family has been drinking Anheuser-Busch products for 50 years. We only drink Bud Light. Bud Light is the superior beer. They didn't care about Bud Light. They just cared about the fact that their family, who they love, that was just what they did.
Yeah. How do you toe the line, right? And I think amongst ourselves, right, we've been friends for so long that we all know the line, right? And we'll like, we know when the other person's joking. And so we can get away with a couple things, right? Like if I'm talking to a stranger about golf being a zone 2 workout because they're a runner, I would never say, smart people play golf and dumb people that couldn't make it in any other sports, right? And so how do you toe the line when you're having these conversations out in public?
An example that I just thought of was when we were in college, John Michael, we lived with some guys that were not Catholic. They were Protestant.
Yep.
And, there'd be, we were the Catholic guys.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of had that identity. Jose, you were a part of that as well. We had all these friends that weren't Catholic and we were the Catholic guys,
Mm-hmm.
And I would say, there's was some lighthearted kind of banter at times, back and forth about, I don't know, just Catholic things or being Catholic, and we kind of give it back to them about being Protestant or whatever. But there's a point where things go a little bit too far, or you're making that joke consistently.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing for it to kind of come up every now and again as a joke, but then every time something's mentioned that's Catholic, there's jokes that are made about it. And so for something like golf, that's a hobby of mine, something that I enjoy. Being Catholic is deeply personal to my identity as a man, and I'm totally okay with guys, making some jokes about it here and there. That's fine, but it's, I'm not really going to trust you as a person if that becomes the basis of our conversations, is like, this banter back and forth and poking fun at something that's deeply important to me.
I also think there's something just absolutely hilarious about when people start arguing about trivial things, because it's just like, this is just funny.
Yeah.
Like there is no reason why you actually believe that. But now we've kind of created this environment where now everyone's invested in this. Like I think about probably my favorite podcast we've done was our college football episode back in fall of 25. I've gotten the most responses from that. I had a guy the other day text me and he goes, dude, I just watched the college football episode. How in the world could you not want Navy in the national championship game? And he's a Naval Academy graduate. And he was like, I want to let you know that the entire military services is going to get this podcast and they're not going to be defending you.
They will not be happy.
God bless our troops.
Mm-hmm. I do support our troops.
Do support our troops.
Just not their football games.
That's right. So there's something about why did everyone like that episode? Because it was just like, it's pretty ridiculous, right? I mean, at one point, Clayton, was convinced that I didn't like the movie Miracle. Made up. Didn't even happen.
You did say.
You did say that.
Herb Brooks' speech, overrated.
Yeah. Okay. So as we close out here, just want to spend some time on what are some other dumb hills that you would actually defend to the end. We're not arguing them. We're just presenting what the hill is.
I would love to talk about email etiquette.
Mm.
I am really into email etiquette. And there are a few things that absolutely drive me crazy surrounding email etiquette and hills that I will die on professionally. If you are out of office, okay, and you have an out of office reply set, then you are not allowed to respond to any emails. Does this ever happen to you? You email someone and then you get an out of office right back, and then 2 seconds later they email you back. And you're like, why did you have an out of office on in the first place? Now I have 2 emails in my inbox when I should only have 1. Number 2, you should never, ever have a picture of yourself in your email signature.
I can get behind
Have
that.
you seen those?
I
Yeah.
disagree. I think there's probably times when you need it.
No, never.
Yeah,
It's an email. If I wanted a picture of
Like
your
what,
face,
like
I would have asked.
Reaching out to recruiting manager.
my
of a
first
company?
okay, literally my first thought was like a life insurance agent. Like there's people that are in sales that they put their photos at the bottom. I don't have a problem with that. But if it's an internal, like I feel like it might be different if it's internal to an organization.
And you guys know what I feel very strongly about is creative email signatures. You should have them.
We all know at what point John Michael's in
I
his
get
life
100.
right now.
I get 150 emails a day, maybe 200, maybe 250. Maybe I'm exaggerating. And
I
it's
think
10 to
sometimes
15.
you try too hard with your email
Yeah.
signatures.
I've gotten great feedback about my custom email signatures.
Chasing what matters. We don't even know what you're chasing.
I'm chasing what matters.
What matters?
So
Sounds pretty relativist.
Context here to our audience. I have a email signature that says "Chasing What Matters." It's a personal brand, and these guys have been roasting me for years now about my personal email signatures.
Well, then your LinkedIn says what, like "Let go and let God" or something like that.
I think the
What's your
biggest
brand? What's your brand on LinkedIn?
God is on the move.
God is on the move.
You're-
Didn't they
you're-
make a movie about that?
God is not dead.
John Michael's
There's a
favorite
sequel
movie.
coming out. John Michael's starring in it.
God is not dead.
I think
He's on the
your
move.
biggest crime was when you signed off a Teams message with a prayer. That's when you crossed the line.
And a
man.
hashtag.
And a hashtag inside of the prayer. I think you cooked a little too long in the kitchen there.
Let us know in the comments what you think about custom email signatures.
All right, Clayton.
Dumbest till I'd
Just like
actually,
anything, yeah.
Um,
Like for me, one that just gets me going is, I think, also in our job we work with young people,
Yep.
or younger people, when they will avoid picking up the phone.
Yes.
Like, just pick up the freaking phone,
Or
Yeah.
or
like I'm
they'll-
about to give you a job offer.
yeah, you call them and they text you the whole time.
Yeah,
But
they
they
have
will
no
never
problem
answer
texting,
the
but they will
phone.
not answer
Yes.
the phone.
mm.
Yep.
That's one that I'm like, that I will down that hill of just pick up the phone.
Right. Is it a nervousness thing?
I don't know. Again, we're
Well,
not
everyone
here to-
remembers, your childhood being afraid to pick up the phone and calling. I don't know. Maybe it's like a.
I mean, yeah, maybe when I was in like 7th, 8th,
I'll
maybe
say.
9th grade.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
that
when you're
point, you're
22, 23, 24.
Yep.
Mine is everybody should have a full length, back scratcher cleanser in the shower. Listen, as someone that's not entirely flexible, but besides, even though I do play golf,
I was
even
about
though
to
I do
say,
play golf,
You said mobility was a key benefit of golf.
it's
So
absolutely true.
explain the back scratcher.
Well, just
Is
like
it to
the
put
the
soap on your
the
back?
full length thing. Yeah, you put the soap on it,
Okay.
and you're able
Oh, I'm
to.
imagining like those that have like a hand at the end.
The back scratcher.
All I'm
Like a
saying is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I've never felt more fully cleansed in my life than having one of those.
Yeah.
So
Where do you put it?
the one I bought came with a hanger that you put in the shower and then you hang it.
I don't know.
I think one for me
It's got a soft side and a hard bristle side.
is coffee. There's a certain way that I appreciate coffee, and there's certain ways that I don't. And if someone doesn't cross my barrier of what I think makes good coffee, I will for sure I would prefer to just not have coffee. I will just be like, oh, I'm okay.
Like milk. What is your
Yeah,
barrier?
I'll
Is
get
it
into
milk
that.
based?
And I might, and I'm getting better at this, but I might also lose a little respect for them.
Wow.
So, I mean, like I like drip coffee, black drip coffee.
Yep.
But I think a lot of people naturally, maybe that's how they grew up, maybe just in the interest of being like, it's easier. They'll like, when they just a big tub of like Folgers or Kirkland coffee where it just tastes like black tar.
Just trash.
And they just like, there's no measurement. There's no signs in it, which is okay.
You know what I call that coffee?
But it's just nasty.
I call it post-mass coffee.
Ew.
Like, have you ever had coffee
Catholic
at your
Center coffee.
parish is just undrinkable.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's a dumb hill I die on, but I've gotten in many arguments with friends. I've offended other friends because I will bring my own coffee to your house.
I just had the same argument with our friend Nick, Mr. Nick.
Yeah.
Colleague of ours. He's the cheap coffee guy. And he was arguing with me because he was like, I like making pour overs in the morning. I made Clayton about 4 of them this morning. That's why he's been shaking this entire podcast. But I love really good coffee. And he's like, you shouldn't drink iced coffee because it affects your taste and you're not okay drinking cheap coffee. And I was like, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the point.
That's okay.
That is the exact point. He's like, well, that's wrong.
It's like you shouldn't be eating vegetables because it's going to change your taste buds. You're going to prefer those
It's a great point.
over junk food.
Yeah, we'll send that line down. That's
to
brilliant.
Great. Any other dumb hills, gentlemen?
No.
It is funny because I'm like, I can't think of any. But I know within the next hour, I will get in like 3 different arguments.
We're going to have to edit this episode.
about things that are so dumb that I don't even believe myself,
One of my favorite arguments that we've had was me explaining to Clayton why the Whoop is such a great fitness wearable and him roasting me for it. And then now both of you are wearing Whoops on this podcast. Pull your wrist. Show it.
We'll save those wrists for another time.
Yeah, the audience couldn't handle it.
Modest is hottest.
Yeah. And I think that's another thing that we do a lot. We just want to convince each other of the things that we like.
100%.
And we like to be stubborn and not, same thing with the Owala, right? With me and Clayton of like, I just roasted him for the Owala, which by the way, you don't even. Okay. The other thing that bothered me about this argument that we had that I ended up getting an Owala afterwards is that you never carry a water bottle with you.
No, not till today.
For the longest time, anytime I was around Clayton,
yes, hey,
he's like, "Hey, can I
drink
have a sip of water?
Have a sip of water. I'm thirsty.
I'm like,
I need
dude,
water.
bring your own water.
It's 2026. Everyone owns a water bottle.
And I'm like, I'll ask. He's like, do you own? You're like, yeah, I own like 6. I just don't like to use them. Oh, gosh,
I like to carry them with me. Do you
right,
have your water bottle with you?
I think I left it in your car. Yeah.
See, that's what he does too. He leaves stuff and then he blames it on you.
Let's say take us home.
All right, so most of us aren't actually fighting over dumb things. We're just trying to feel grounded, right? Understood, or in control, or we're just simply trying to have some fun banter with our friends. Learning which hills matter and which don't is for sure part of growing up and learning to laugh at yourself through that. But if this episode made you think of someone who would absolutely die on a ridiculous hill, please share it with them and share with us what that hill is, because I love to argue with you about it. Make sure you're following, subscribe, like this video. This is the All-In podcast, and we'll see you next week.